don't know about you, but in our house, we are big Trolls fans. We just watched the new Trolls movie, and in it, Queen Poppy, the troll, decided to go on a crazy adventure, even though her dad, the king, and everyone else was telling her not to. Spoiler alert, in the end, it all turns out just fine. And she's sitting there with her dad, and she says, "Dad, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you." And her dad said something that struck me. Her dad looked at her and said, "No, I'm glad you didn't." He said, "You weren't naive about this world. You were brave enough to believe things could change." How often do we find ourselves in situations where people are telling us, "That's not a good idea, don't do that"? Or people say things like, "Oh, she just hasn't been here long enough. He just doesn't know the way things work yet." And how often do we listen to that voice? Do we listen to those people? And they think that we're just being naive, that we don't really know what it takes to be successful at X company or on X projects. Sometimes we need to challenge that voice. We need to be brave enough to believe things can change. The mindset's only the first part. We need to be constantly questioning, why are we doing things this way? What if we did them a different way? And it might sound impossible, but if we could, how would we? Once we have that mindset, then we have to put it into action. We have to be willing, just like Poppy from the Trolls movie was willing to go on this wild and crazy adventure, which wasn't always easy. We have to be willing and we have to go on the adventure. Right now, we're all on an adventure. Not just now, but we're constantly on an adventure in life, professionally and personally. Are you brave enough to believe things can be different? If you are, what adventure are you willing to go on today, this week, this year, this month? Because just like the King Peppy told Poppy, none of us have to be naive about this world. We have to be brave enough to think things can change. And if we believe things can change, we can make them change by taking action. So right now, what are you going to take action on? What do you believe can change? Take action on it. When we decide to take action, we can all change ourselves, our companies, our teams for the better. We can all be stronger and more effective leaders and human beings.